Here we go with our SPSS file to conduct the dependent sample t-test. So we are in the variable view. So we have a variable called student. This is a number assigned to each student. There are 40 students in this example. And the second variable is the score before tutorial, and the third variable is score after tutorial. So this is a test of whether the tutorial had been effective. That means whether the scores after the tutorial had been significantly different from the scores before the tutorial. So we'll be testing for the null hypothesis that the mu1 minus mu2 is equal to 0, or the mean difference mu d is equal to 0, meaning the tutorial had no effect on the scores. The alternative is that mu d is not equal to 0, meaning the tutorial had an effect on the scores after the tutorial has been conducted. So here we go to analyze, then go to compare means. So here we have paid sample t-test. So paid sample t-test is also a dependent sample t-test, and technically the paid samples are different from the dependent samples. Basically, in paid samples, we don't have the same sample on which we take the measurement twice, but the subjects from sample 1 will be paired with the subjects from sample 2 based on some parameter, let us say age, gender, uh, etc. So for instance, the subject 1 in sample 1 might be paired with subject 1 in sample 2 such that, for example, we might pair a subject in sample 1 who is female and aged above 40 with a subject in sample 2 who is also a female and aged above 40. So that's called a paid sample t-test scenario, wherein you have two different samples, but subject in one pair, subject in first sample is paired with a subject in the second sample. Anyway, we can run the paid sample t-test here. Now let us take the scores before tutorial into variable 1, and the scores after tutorial into variable 2. So this is the pair here. Now click on the options, and we'll leave it with the default value, that is 95%. So then we'll go on click OK. So when I click on OK, the SPSS throws this output. Let us look at the descriptive statistics that the scores before tutorial was 51, the scores after tutorial is 54, and there appears to be a mean difference of 3. But what we are testing for is whether this difference is significant. And here we have the sample sizes, and because this is a dependent sample t-test or in a paired sample t-test, so these sizes of the samples can't be different. And then the standard deviations given and standard error of the mean is given. So there is also an interesting statistic. What is the correlation between the scores before and scores after? So there is a very high correlation here, which is significant. So if you get into the main output table here, we see the main difference as 3, and it has a negative sign, which means that the scores after have improved before, compared to the scores before the tutorial. And we'll go to our p-value. So the p-value is minus we will look at the p-value. The p-value is 0.007, and the alpha that we would be normally setting is 0.05, and as the p-value is less than the alpha, that is 0.05, we reject H naught and conclude that there had been an effect of the tutorial on the scores uh, that were actually measured after the tutorial.